from Petra Fisher Movement, and I thought I would share a little know your body tip today. A lot of the time, we don't have a very good sense of where our body is supposed to be, and there's a lot of conflicting information out there about where our body is supposed to be and what good posture is and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to throw my hat in the ring on this one and give you some suggestions for how your tongue should generally be held in your mouth. The reason tongue position is a big deal is because your tongue contributes both to how you swallow and how you breathe. It also helps perform a support for your facial bones if it's in the right position. And it has a big impact on your dental state. So if it's in the wrong place and pushing forward, it will tend to affect your teeth a lot. So if you've got a lot of crooked lower teeth, that could be a sign that your tongue is not always in a great position. Or also if you have a gap in your front top teeth, might be a sign that your tongue isn't in the right position a lot of the time. So, as a general rule, you want to think about your tongue living kind of nestled into the roof of your mouth. So if my teeth were coming down there, my tongue isn't pushing forward and touching my teeth. My tongue is a little behind my teeth and then pressing up against the roof of my mouth. So it's not just the tip of the tongue, it's the middle of the tongue and the back of the tongue as well. It's a little hard to describe places in the mouth, and of course you can't see them very well. So I'm going to give you some suggestions on how you can find the right places. The tip of the tongue should be in a place that my myofunctional therapist calls the spot, which is a pretty funny name for it. But if you say the letter N, like in the word Boston, that N is probably going to help the tip of your tongue end up on the right spot. So that sound, N, is where the tip of your tongue should be all of the time, including when you swallow. So it should stay on that spot when you swallow. The swallow is actually a pressing upwards of your tongue rather than a pushing forward or pushing forward and down of your tongue. So it is literally just staying up the whole time, and that's part of how the tongue provides the support for your palate and your facial bones. So N is the sound of where your tip of your tongue should be. Your middle of your tongue, your mid-tongue, should be in the place that it gets to when you say the sound ng, like king. The NG is the sound of the mid-tongue hitting the middle of the palate. So you want to be for your mid-tongue. And for the back of the tongue, the place where it needs to be is the place where it goes to when it makes the sound k, like saying the letter K. So one of my favorite words to help my tongue be in the right place, because for me it's a lot of mid-tongue, back of the tongue work that I'm working on right now, is the word Inca, as though the Incas had a G in them. So I say it very slowly, I draw it out, and I practice saying the sounds so my tongue gets lots of practice consciously pushing into those spots. So the word Inca is how I'm getting my mid-tongue and back of the tongue up. And the word Boston is how to practice that tip of your tongue. So if you notice that your tongue is sitting in the bottom of your mouth a lot, maybe resting against your lower teeth, or that it's pushing forward towards your front teeth at the top all of the time, you might want to try playing around with these words and exercises and seeing if that can help you. Now this is really just skimming the surface of what you can do in order to improve your tongue function and the facial muscle function. I would definitely, if you notice that it's not sitting in the right place, and particularly if you're having problems such as TMJ, headaches, sleep apnea, neck pain, it might be worth talking to an oral myofunctional therapist or somebody who works with tongue position in the mouth, such as an OMT, that's oral myofunctional therapist, to get some more specific advice. But that should start you off. I am sharing this partly because I've had a tongue tie and I've been working through that and will continue to work through that for the next little while. If you're uncertain about what a tongue tie is, or think you might have a tongue tie and would like to treat it, I actually have a lot of information about that up on my website, which is petrafishermovement.com. I actually have a Start Here page, and under there I've got a category where I've got a lot of information about my tongue tie journey, how I discovered it, what a tongue tie does in the body, why it's a big deal, and what you can do about it. So, play around with this, assess your tongue position. If you think it's a problem, definitely worth working on, because where your tongue is, again, it has a big impact on some really major stuff, including where your teeth are, whether your face is fully supported, and probably the most importantly, whether you're breathing well and effectively, which has a big impact not only on your oxygen, but also on your sleep. So I'm a big proponent of tongue position. I hope this was helpful. And if you head over to my website, again, petrafishermovement.com, check out the Start Here page. Lots of information there, and I'm always happy to chat as well. Okay, thanks so much for joining me.